Batman with the little sword. Whee! That was awesome. Well, hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day or night. And welcome back to my channel as always. I'm Deluxe. All right, let's do another freaking Star Wars review. Yeah, something different. So a company reached out to me the other day. So if you know follow my channel and everything, I've reviewed Transformers and 5-2 Toys. 5-2 Toys is basically Transformers. They just transform cubes and everything. But a company reached out to me called Nsabers and asked if I would like to take a look at one of their lightsabers. And I said, I was kind of hesitant at first, but I was like, heck, why? Heck yeah, why not? Because I would love to add one to my collection. Something that you would always want to have, like, you have a certain Godzilla or a Voltron or something like that. It's always cool to have a lightsaber. Like I said, I know Star Wars, but I don't know Star Wars. Like I know what, and I watched their movies, and I watched all the movies and everything, but I haven't watched everything Star Wars. Like I know Transformers. Transformers, I collect them. I know a whole lot about Transformers stuff, but like I said, but I was still interested. I was like, heck yeah, just send it to me, and I'll definitely take a look at it. So, like I said, the company is Nsabers right here. You get that, and you get this. Now, this is the Luke Skywalker Episode 6 lightsaber and everything. So, let me open it up, and I'll show you how it comes packaged in right here. So, you got the instructions right here. Comes really nicely packaged with styrofoam and everything. You got the bubble wrap. Everything. I'm gonna go over everything that comes with a little, up close and personal. So we'll see that and everything. But yeah, really excited for this. Like I said, I kind of was nervous and kind of hesitant because, like I said, I've never reviewed anything Star Wars. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm really excited. So as always, like, shares, prayers, and Care Bears. Hit that sub button for me if you don't mind. And yeah, let's get right to it. And let's talk about Nsabers Luke Skywalker Episode 6 lightsaber. Man, I'm excited. Let's go.
All right, folks, this is everything it comes with, man. So a lot of stuff. So, man, here is the manual. Now, there is a lot of stuff that this can do. Tons and tons of, sounds, music, light, effects and everything. So I'm not going to go through every one of them. I'm going to go through, a lot of them, but I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. My goodness. And there are QR codes in there. So that's pretty cool. The little tutorials. That is really cool. All right, so it does come with a charging cable. Here's the charging cable, and it says do not use when charging. So don't use it while you're charging the thing. All right, so you have the gloves. Like I said, if you don't want to get smudge marks, but you can clean it off. I'm not going to use these, but that's pretty cool. If you don't want to get smudges on your lightsaber. It does come with these little screws right here and a little tool. So you can put the saber and this little shorter one if you don't want to display it with the long one. You have that option. Everything you're going to screw it in these little holes right here, so it will hold in the saber right there. All right, like I said, here is the long and strong, going to give us friction on saber right here. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, you do got the short one. It's got a nice copper and silver paint to it. That is very nice. And you get a stand too as well. Now you put these together, you put these things right here, and you get this little nameplate, which is a sticker on the back. You just peel it off and you put it on there, and you can display it on the stand, which is pretty cool. And then we got the hilt. I think that's what you call it. And we'll look at that more in a little bit, closer and everything. But I just want to show you what everything comes with. And yeah, a lot of stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, before we go over all the sounds and all the light effects and everything, we'll take a quick look at the hilt. Now, this does have a great weight to it. You could definitely knock out a grown man with this. It looks really good. I love it. Now, I did a little research. I looked back at some of the older ones. The only difference between this replica and other ones, this had like a box, like a mechanical box or something. And to me, this just feels so much better without that being there. It kind of looked like it got in the way. But that's the only difference in it. It didn't have that little mechanical box and everything on top of that, like a rectangle type of thing. But other than that, it looks the same. Like I said, here you're going to put the saber in there. You screw in the little holes. That's really nice. Like I said, it's got a nice weight to it, and you do got a little clip. So if you put, have to put on your belt, you do unscrew this right here, and this is where you will charge it. I'll show you the charger cable. Unscrew that. You'll put that right there on that little port right there, and that's where you will charge it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this has a great weight to it, just a great feel to it. Like I said, I think the little box would have gotten away, so I'm gonna get little smudges on there, but I'll clean it off. But man, it's just got a great weight to it. It just feels good. Unfortunately, I don't have a scale or anything to see how much it weighs, but it feels pretty good. So yeah, there you go. There is the hilt. All right, so here it is on the stand. I put the little small saber in there as well. Now, you do have to screw it in, like I said, and the best way I found a way is, especially if you have sausage fingers like I do, is just put the little screw on the tip right there, and then just got it in. You can screw it in. I think that's the best way to do that. And man, this looks freaking awesome. This would look great on like a fireplace or a mantle or anything like that. Looks very nice. Now, I'm going to show you. You can turn this on.
Hunter ignition.
I'll turn down the light so you can kind of see what it looks like. Right there. That's pretty cool. You can turn down the volume and everything if you want to as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's yellow. I'm guessing that's how you're supposed to. I guess this is how you're supposed to. It doesn't show anywhere how to do the stand, so I just kind of put it in that groove in that right there. So that's so cool. But there you go. That is with the little small saber right there.
All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do with this. There's tons and tons of stuff. I'm not going to go all of it and take over everything because it takes forever, but there's so many things you can do as far as, with the blade, making different colors with the lightsaber, and you can make, phrases from the movies and stuff, and there's so much stuff you can do. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things to show you and everything. Like I said, that menu you'll get, it shows you everything how to do it. It's real easy. So yeah, let's get right to it. So what you do is to turn it on. You got the button right here. You just
power on
right there, and then what you can also do is go like this.
Hunter ignition. Cross ignition. Phaser ignition.
That is so cool. You change blade colors. You just hit it twice. This is freaking awesome. And then you just want to turn it off, you can just hold it in. Now power down. Now if you want to turn it completely off, you hold it in for 5 times.
Power off.
And it'll power off like that. All right, so there's a couple more things. So I'm going to power it back on. So you can mute it. You can have a high, or so you just press it one. That's on mute.
Volume high.
Volume high.
Volume low.
So I'll put it on volume low, and then you can
burst ignition. Kenobi. Kenobi. Count Dooku.
They got tons of phrases.
Dark Sith red.
And this is holding it 4 times. Let it flash 4 times, and you can get different sayings, phrases.
Cal Kestis. Yoda.
So you get that effect. You just press it 1 time, you get that effect where shooting phasers at you. That's pretty cool. Like I said, you can hold it in twice, and it'll do that. Now you can also stand up. If you point it down, you can change colors. If you just do it clockwise, you can change colors like that. That's pretty cool. You can also do this right here. Like I said, you got phrases.
Cal Kestis.
3, 4.
Skywalker.
You can just
Yoda.
twist it. That's pretty cool.
Count Dooku.
So yeah, so you can change different phrases, everything. That's pretty cool. You can either hold it in for 4 flashes, or you can hold it in and twist it, and it'll go through some different dialogues and everything. That's pretty cool. And the other thing is, you can hold it. If you hold the lightsaber down, you hold it down and you twist, you start playing music too. That is pretty cool. And you can start it up as well. That's pretty cool. And another feature on this thing is you can actually play music and everything. So if you hold it down and you hold it in and you twist it, you can start playing some of the music from the movies. If you hold it down again, so one time we'll turn it off, and if you do it again, it'll go to another sound. So that's pretty cool. And then you can start it up too as well. You can have the music in the background. That's cool. All right, so that was a couple things you can do. Like I said, there's tons and tons of sound bites. You got tons of light. You got a rainbow. You got like 12 different colors for the blades. You got the rainbow. You got phaser effects and everything. It's just freaking wicked. I really love this thing. That's awesome. But yeah, like I said, if you that little booklet that comes with it, it tells you everything that you can do with it. It's very awesome. Well, hey there, everybody. If you made this far, as always, I freaking appreciate that. All right, man, my first time to do floor time with something from Star Wars. And this is freaking awesome, man. There's so many options. There's so many, like phrases, so many, different colors for the for the lightsaber. There's just so much. It's awesome. Like I said, I didn't go over half the stuff that you can do with it. Like I said, just read that manual. It tells you everything you can do with it. And it's freaking awesome. There's so many options you can do. And I can't wait to display this. Man, this would be great, display on your fireplace or mantle in your office or something like that. I'd love to have these hanging up on your wall. I would love to get a Darth Vader one or a Darth Maul. That would be pretty cool. But this thing's it's well made. Like I said, if you go to conventions, you do have this little hook for, you can put on your belt. It's got a good weight to it. Like I said, you could knock out a grown man with this thing. It is just awesome. Well made. Very nice. And like I said, it's just cool to have something like I said, everybody I think should have like a set of turtles, like a set of Voltron lines. Like if you mainly collect Transformers or G.I. Joe or something like that, it's pretty cool to have just one thing. But man, this makes me want to get another one of these lightsabers to, hang up on the wall. It just looks good. I mean, displayed, it's very nice. And it's so much fun. Like there's so much to do with this thing. It's freaking awesome. Now, I do have a link below. If you use Deluxe 32, and we'll give you 7% off of your purchase. Definitely go use that. I'm going to put a link to their website. They have specials going on. They had Black Friday special. I think if you bought 2 or if you bought 1, you get 2 free or something like that. I don't know. I think that's still going on. I'm sure they're going to have stuff for Christmas. They always have great sales, and they have a lot of inventory. They have a lot of choices you can make. Like I said, this is the Luke Skywalker from episode 6. But yeah, there's so many to choose from. And yeah, it's just like if you're a Star Wars fan, it's like a fat kid in a candy store. You're just going to go wild. It's going to be awesome. But like I said, use that link down there. Like I said, it really helps you get 7% off of your purchase. And yeah, this is awesome. I love it. Hit me up some likes, shares, prayers, and care bears. Hit that sub button for me if you don't mind. Give me some comments. Tell me thought of the review. Like I said, this is my first time. Kind of be gentle on me, for the ones that watch it. Like I said, I've never reviewed anything for Star Wars. So I really appreciate, tell me some, stuff I need to change. I've never really reviewed a lightsaber. So just help me with that if have some constructive criticism, basically what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next. Follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. And yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next Transform review because that's more than likely what I'm going to do. And as always, be good to yourself. Hell freaking Star Wars and hell freaking this nice lightsaber, man. It's awesome. Good night, folks.